So if you're here for one of two things. Number one, you are here to see the behind the scenes of Umgidi kaLiso. Timestamps will be included so you can skip ahead. Number two, you are doing research. You've been booked for your first Umgidi and you're trying to get notes on how to go about it in the best way so that you don't mess up. If that's you, number two, this is the video for you. With that being said, let's jump right into it. First, what is Umgidi? The gist of it is Umgidi is the ceremony that happens when they initiate two goes on vacation. They go on a nice relaxing vacation. After their vacation, they come back. So on their return, there is a huge celebration, celebrating their safe return. That celebration is called Umgidi. That's the gist of it. There's two items that you need to shoot Umgidi. Third one is optional, but two main items that you need. Number one, obviously, you need your camera. So, you know me, I'm shooting with the R10. So, number one you need is a camera, and then number two, the thing that you need is a lens. If you had to choose one, I'd recommend using any sort of zoom lens, preferably one that has a wide viewing angle. So from a kit lens, 18 to 55, or if you've got a nice zoom lens like the one I have here, this is a 24 to 70 from Sigma f2.8. I do prefer using that over opting for a prime lens. If you're shooting on prime, then the lens I would recommend is something like a 24mm. I did mention that there's two things you need, with the third thing being optional. The third thing is, of course, lighting. The reason why I say lighting, or the third thing is optional in this case, is that okay, battery's out, but yeah, lighting. So the reason why I say lighting is optional in this case is that Umgidi takes place 90 to 95 to 98% outdoors. Everyone is chilling outside. You really get a chance to go and shoot indoors with Umgidi. Two things is a camera and a lens. Lighting, speed light is optional. Now if you're shooting on a prime, please note I'm shooting on a crop sensor, so these lenses for me are for crop equivalent. If you're shooting on a full frame, do the math. But the reason why I recommend shooting on a 24mm is because 50mm on a camera like an R10 tends to be too narrow, and if you can only get away with carrying one lens, you're better off carrying the wider lens, because you can shoot people wide, or if you need to go in for more portrait style shots, you just step in a bit closer. So what do you do to prepare for shooting Umgidi? Step one, obviously charge your stuff. Make sure your memory cards are backed up. Nothing sucks more than you getting into a shooting for 30 minutes and then realizing my memory card is full because you didn't back it up from the previous event. Now you can't format it because you already started shooting. Now you need to find a laptop if you're not carrying a laptop with you so that you can. It's a whole nightmare. And with regards to the actual event itself, as in getting there, or if you're uncertain about certain procedures and so on and so forth, talk to your client. Call if you need to call. Make sure you guys are on the same page. Make sure and you're comfortable. The most important thing is that you communicate such that you and your client are on the same page. What type of style, what are you going for when you're going to shoot Umgidi? So note that Umgidi is an event. So outside of typical portrait shooting, when shooting an event, you need to capture everything. You need to give a good idea of what happens when you're shooting an event. So unlike portraits mainly focus on the subjects. Those will feature posed images of people looking towards the camera and you take a picture. So with event photography, how it differs is that sometimes people will pose, you will take portraits of people, but what is also important is that you take pictures of the environment. You take pictures of actions, people cooking, people dancing, people singing, so on and so forth. Number one, lighting. As I said earlier, Umgidi takes place 90% outside. So weather conditions vary. Your most ideal weather condition for shooting Umgidi is cloudy weather. Unfortunately, no one controls the weather. If you get there's cloudy weather, it's your lucky day. Sometimes you get there at noon, sun is up bright, it's doing the shadows, it's doing the thing. So for example, if you're shooting on a clear day, if you're not shooting in the morning or at sunset, whenever you're shooting people, try get them to stand in the shade. Tell them they're going to look much nicer in the shade so that the skin is more even. There's nothing you can do about the candid shots of the activities happening. You have to deal with that. Okay, the other thing, movement. I mentioned earlier, Wuti, you need to be on your feet when you're shooting Umgidi. Things can happen just like this, program changes just like that. You need to be vigilant, you need to be on your feet, you need to constantly communicate. Yeah, well. Also, when it comes to crowd control and people skills, Umgidi is no place to be shy. You will see beautiful, you will see the most beautiful dresses, and that's where you will get your most magic. And if you would like to take a picture of a person, you can't just stand at Galeni and hope they will see you and ask you to take a picture of them. You need to be forward and go to people and ask them, well, and yeah, well, yo, ngicela ungifota. Yes, yeah, well, compliment the person. Yeah, well, be bangumuntu manje, bangumchita, be out, be a person, be, yeah, well, that's the type of thing. Any tips on composing your images? So like I mentioned, with event photography and with Umgidi as it applies, you are shooting not only portraits of people, but you're shooting the event occurrences as things happen. So in terms of composition, there's two things I'd recommend. So you want close-ups of almost, yeah, you want close-ups as it applies to things happening. If someone is selling, instead of taking a wide shot, you might actually want to get a close-up of them holding ibekile and them drinking. If you're taking pictures of a fire, get a close-up of the flame, get a nice textured image of the crackle, so on, njalo. Lots of beadworks that the ladies wear. Get in there, get a close-up of the beads, get the detail. Umgidi is beautiful, it's very artistic. That there's lots of room. I almost said there's lots of room for failure. There's little room for failure and lots of room for you to experiment. That's a nice thing. Get those close-ups, get in there. It's even nice like if you have a zoom lens, because you just snipe them from a distance, but even with whatever, if you have a wider lens, get in there, get those images. It'll be worth it at the end. You have the close-ups, cool, and then outside of the close-ups, then you have wider images. Density is close up and wide. You get wides of the location. If you are in a rural area, get the landscape. Turn your camera around, take a picture of the landscape that's happening there. Yeah, well, go wild with it. There is no formula. As a Xhosa man, as a Gyan, you already know. You already know what's expected of you. You already sort of know how to navigate. If you're not a Xhosa man, as a photographer, this is not something that you should worry about. Remember what I said, Uti, communication is key. If you're not sure about something, ask. No set of rules that I'll give you and say, Uti, these are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rules that you need to follow. No, each household is different, each home is different. Rules that apply to one household don't necessarily apply to the next household. The most important thing is that you communicate. A lot of the time, the people attending Umgidi are mindful of a photographer. The most important thing for you to remember is that you are at work. You are there to work. You have been booked. Your client is paying money for your time. Should actually ask Ugath how he navigates Umgidi as a white photographer. But yeah, he doesn't count because he's a very fluent Xhosa speaker and has a good idea. But anyways, as far as that cultural barrier goes, I think this applies to most other rites of passages, with most other events, weddings from different cultures. There's a mindfulness that you need to keep. But again, if you are unsure and if you don't know what's happening, the best advice I can give is just talk to your client, talk to the people that are there on the ground. I hope you have fun. The most important thing, have fun. And yeah, most important thing, have fun. And make sure you arrive nice and early so that you go to the kitchen, so that you can go get your serving of ulusu. It's important. Stay hydrated, stay nourished, so that you don't take blurry pictures and then Pro tip, Kush is your VIP. You must be like this, the Kush. Now, this is where you're gonna get to plan, yeah.
Right, bro, but it's not food.
Okay, so we said it. Right, so outside of your preset white balance mode, you can actually custom white balance your camera to ensure the most precise colors. So on Canon, what you do is you find a neutral color. So for example, this panel works as a neutral color. So what you do is take a shot, just make sure it's not overexposed. Let's take a neutral. Okay, it's nice. So let's take a neutral. Yeah. Now take a neutral image. Then what you do is you go to menu, go to custom white balance, and you use that as your custom white balance referencing. And yeah, and that's how you set your custom white balance. So this is what happens when you have friends in high places. Remember. So remember what I said, Uti, your most important place is there in the kitchen. That's some food. It's important to stay satiated, to stay nourished, so that your pictures are in focus. Otherwise, yeah. Okay, make sure keep them lenses nice and clean, eh? Yeah. So So make sure keep your lenses nice and clean. Ginger. Stay nourished, stay hydrated. Welcome to my office. My band done. That's the gist of it. Otherwise, Kush, back to you in the studio. Otherwise, yeah, thank you for watching, and yeah, I will see you on the next one. Ciao.
J Savage, play that shit back, my nigga.